Okay, ready to do another example. So now look at this one. This one looks pretty darn complicated. And it would be very tough to take the derivative of this thing. Well, impossible based on the tools that we have. So let's use logarithmic differentiation on this thing and see how it plays out. Okay, again, your answer is going to look complicated. Okay, but again, as long as you do it right, you simplify as much as possible. Your answer is what the answer is. But again, make sure you simplify as much as you can. And again, follow the steps and practice. Okay, the more you practice, you'll start to see things that could be simplified more. Okay, not always, but sometimes. So again, what are we going to do? We're going to take the natural log of both sides, right? In order to use logarithmic differentiation, we have to have some logs in there. So that means that we're going to write the natural log of y is equal to the natural log of this entire thing. I'm going to write small. You should still be able to see it. Okay. Now I'm going to use the properties of logs over on this side. I'm going to expand this out as much as possible. So I've got a quotient, I've got products on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to do the quotient first. So this is going to equal the natural log of x times the square root of 2x plus 1 minus the natural log of e to the x sine cubed x, okay? Which is then going to equal the natural log of x plus the natural log of the square root of 2x plus 1 minus the natural log of e to the x minus, again, because I'm subtracting this whole thing, this is going to be a sum, so I've got to distribute the negative sign, and so I'm going to get the natural log of sine, and I'm going to run out of room here, but it's sine cubed x at the end here. Okay? Okay, now, a couple of things I could simplify, and I'm going to. Okay? So I'm going to get the natural log of x plus, now this is actually 2x plus 1 to the 1/2 power, so I'm going to pull out a 1/2 natural log of 2x plus 1. And then the natural log of e to the x is just x. And then this is just going to be the natural log of sine cubed x. Okay, now that's fully expanded out. Can't expand it any farther. So now what do? Well, the next step says differentiate both sides. So now I've got this is equal to this. So I'm going to differentiate both sides. So again, the derivative of this side is going to give me 1 over y dy dx is equal to the derivative of this thing, which I'm going to drop this down so I don't run into it. So 1 over y dy dx is equal to the derivative of this whole thing. So I'm going to do it turn by turn. So the derivative of the natural log of x is 1 over x plus 1/2 times the derivative of this, because that's just a constant. So this is going to be 1 over 2x plus 1 times the derivative of the inside, which is 2. Okay? Cool thing is this 1/2 and this 2 are going to cancel each other out. Okay? So that's going to cancel with this 2. So 2 times 1/2 is 1. Minus the derivative of x, which is 1, minus, oh, you know what? I should have brought this down. This 3 can be brought down. So this should be subtract 3 times sine x. Okay? Because remember, this is that sine cubed x is the same as sine x quantity cubed. Okay? So I forgot to use the property there. So now this is going to be minus 3 times the derivative of this, which is going to be what? 1 over sine x times the derivative of the inside, which is cosine x. So now I'm going to simplify this further. So this is going to be 1 over x plus 1 over 2x plus 1 minus 1 minus, now cosine over sine is cotangent, so this is going to be minus 3 cotangent x. Okay, so now I'm going to multiply both sides by y. Okay, so now I get dy dx equals y times 1 over x plus 1 over 2x plus 1 minus 1 minus 3 cotangent x. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just replace y with this. Okay, I'm not going to bother trying to simplify this. Okay, and you shouldn't either, right? So there's really nothing else I could do to simplify this. I could try to get a common denominator, but why? That would be, again, unnecessary. So now all I'm going to do is substitute for y to get my final answer. So it's going to be x times the square root of 2x plus 1 over e to the x times sine cubed x, and then of course times this whole thing. I'm not going to write it out because I have no room. So this whole thing goes in there. Okay? And that's the answer. Have a great day.